I'd like to recognize my colleague from Virginia now for 5 minutes of questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you to the witnesses for being here today. I've caught some of the testimony so far. I've been in another hearing as well, but I think this is a really important issue because being prepared, being ready, and being able to anticipate weather events is increasingly important. And I actually got into politics because of this. I was in New Orleans when Hurricane Katrina hit the city, and I didn't care about politics before that, and then I started caring about it because of the response to Katrina. So that's sort of why I'm here today. That's put me on this path. And so I take a special interest in this particular topic. And I guess one of my concerns is that I had a town hall the other night, and a gentleman, he'd worked at NOAA for many years. He'd worked on weather satellites for 20 years. He's one of their top expert engineers, and due to budget cuts at NOAA, his contract is ending on September 30th. And this is really important capabilities that he was working on. And his wife was a civil servant for 34 years, and she was working on the GOXO program. But then she decided to take early retirement. But her work was so critical that they begged her to come back, and she agreed to come back the next day. But you know, what I'm concerned about is the expertise that we're losing when it comes to weather forecasting and weather events in the federal government. And I'd love to hear from you know, I guess anyone, you know, what are these cuts gonna do to impact our ability long term as a country when it comes to these weather events? If anyone would like to answer that.
I'll make a couple comments. The impact is going to be long-term because we're losing talent. The talent that remains is nervous. The good ones have other opportunities. The best ones have other opportunities, and so there's going to be a brain drain. But there's also going to be a lack of a brain infusion from the other end because the educational opportunities diminish in the face of this. So I think the unfortunate thing is, from my perspective, I fully support the idea of taking advantage of capabilities in artificial intelligence, the commercial sector. And I do think that the role of NOAA in the area of weather prediction should and is evolving, but the goal, it seemed in this case, was simply to reduce the numbers as opposed to develop a more efficient capability. And so when the goal is to reduce the numbers, I think the pursuit was clumsy and has great consequences. And it's unfortunate because if carefully and thoughtfully done, I think the best of both, you know, the government capabilities, well, not both, the government capabilities, the university capabilities, industry capabilities could be brought forward to be optimized, but the result is a significant gap in capability that will last a long time.
I think that's right. And there was 1,500 NOAA employees who were fired or resigned. 560 have left the National Weather Service. And our National Weather Service office in Sterling, Virginia, it's the vacancy rate has doubled now. And there's even more cuts planned, 27% cut of NOAA funding and 17% cut of workforce. And a lot of this is the critical technology and modeling and data collection that we need to do really good weather forecasting. And for the American people who might be watching, you know, first of all, thank you for watching a science and technology hearing on a Wednesday. But second of all, just know that this impacts you right now. And we just saw it in Texas. And, you know, yes, we got money out to Texas for storm infrastructure planning and under the American Rescue Plan, but that $10 million was diverted in a way that was not very helpful. And then these cuts meant that people who were calling in couldn't get a hold of anyone when they were affected by the flood. And then long term, I'm worried about our ability to even anticipate these types of disasters. And so we are making every single American vulnerable by cutting these critical people at NOAA and at the National Weather Service, and it's going to hurt every single American. And I think the phrase brain drain is the right thing to think about. This is going to be a brain drain for our expertise in the federal government when it comes to weather forecasting. So I appreciate the hearing, and thank you to our witnesses.